What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? I'm back again with episode of On My Block, and we're gonna be on the blocks of the DMV area today with the special guest. I have Miss Danielle Jefferson. I
Yeah,
mean, I was about to say Freeman. I don't know where I got that name.
it's all
Miss
good. It's all good.
yeah, Danielle Jefferson. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell the people who you are and what you do, where you from, and all that.
Okay, what's up, everybody? My name is Danielle Jefferson. I'm from the Washington, D.C. area, DMV. We're born and raised in Washington, D.C. I have a lot of titles, but we're going to try to
Yes.
keep it, we're going to try to narrow it down. I have a production company called Grow Media Studios, also known as the DDT Inc. DDT stand for Doing Different Things Inc. And yeah, we do photography, videography, music production, podcasts, interviews, events, everything, under media. So yeah, been doing that for a while now, and we've been doing a lot of things. And yeah, we're here. We're trying to make some things happen.
Yeah, that's dope. And I think I met Miss Jefferson. I was searching because I be trying to do some of everything too. So I was searching people that was doing beats and all this. So I actually ran into her like doing beats and doing this thing called Yo DMV Raps.
Yeah, yeah,
So I started following her doing that, and I thought that was kind of dope, like getting those independent artists
yeah.
and just letting them do their thing. I love that. So what you got going on with your DMV?
Yo, DMV Raps will be coming back soon. We took like a year off, due to the COVID and everything that's been going on in our world. But we've been doing a lot of brainstorming on how we're going to return it. We want to do more. We don't want to just sit and listen to local artist music. We want to do more. We want to do interviews. We want to have people do like, open mics and freestyle battles. We want to have a lot going with that show, and it takes time, and it takes time and energy and just brainstorming again to get that going. So it's definitely going to return. I don't want to give a date yet, but just know that it's coming back, and we're branching it out to other areas, not just the DMV.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be hitting all over. It doesn't matter where you come from. It's just, or where you live. We're going to be playing your music. We support local artists. So we're trying to travel. But of course, with this whole COVID thing, it's kind of hard. So we're kind of, doing baby steps with it right now. But just know that it is coming back.
Yeah, I definitely be on the lookout for that because I was really vibing with it. You know what I'm saying? I was vibing to it.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, so I brought you here today to kind of I've been noticing like through your Instagram that you've been posting all these dope photos, videos, and is that something that you're doing under Grow Media Studios? Like, tell us a little history about the Grow Media Studios.
Okay. Well, Grow Media Studios was officially called the DDT Inc., which stands for Doing Different Things. I started this company, but it was kind of like a hobby. It wasn't really like a professional business. It was a hobby.
Yeah.
And it was all about music at first. But at the same time, I kind of dip and dabbed in photography and videography. And just over the years, I've come to have a passion for visuals and photography as well as music. Music is
Mhm.
is always going to be the number one thing. But I branched off because you can make music all the time, but my mindset is I like to show visuals. I like to show things because I'm trying to create my history that
Yeah.
can live on. We're creating history when we do these videos and these photos, and I'm all about creating history. So you can listen to music all the time. It's always going to be there, but I just feel like we need to have a visual behind it. So for the past couple of years, we've been focusing more on the visual aspect, which is the videos and the photography. So
Mm-hmm.
that's just where that comes from. It's definitely under Grow Media, but we've been focusing more on showing versus someone just hearing stuff. Like we're doing the digital magazine. So we're just trying to show a lot now. So
Yeah, that digital stuff. I gotta get you to show me some of that. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I be watching you though. But
yeah.
on your photography side, like what's a typical day like for you, like shooting video? Do you plan it out, or is it just something you just go out every day and just shoot here, shoot there? Because I know in DC it's a lot of attractions there, like you can just take photos, videos all day. So
Yeah.
what's a typical day like for you?
Typical day is going out to different areas in the DC or Maryland or Virginia. It doesn't really matter. I don't really, and it's bad I say I don't do this, but I'm trying to get better with like organizing and actually putting down a structure to what I'm supposed to be doing. I kind of just go off the head and
Yeah.
just go do it, you know. So I'm trying to get better at that. But I'll have a thought. I just feel like photographers, videographers, we always have thoughts. We always want to create. It's something just in us just that you have, that you always want to do something. So some people say, "Oh, write it down or put it there or put it in your notes." And that's cool. I'm trying to do that, but me, if I think about something I want to do, I just go do it, you know.
Yeah.
And then I like, if I have events that I'm doing, then of course I go do those. But I don't really have no mindset. I just go, and whatever I'm feeling, I just do. So
Yeah, I see where you're going with that, but I had that problem too a lot. Like creative, like your mind is constantly trying to do things. But I did find out like it's more easier for me, like if I write down what I'm trying to do, because if I go out there and I'm just trying to put it together as I go, I be all over the place.
yeah, and
So you,
that's how I am. I'm all over the place, but I managed to, once I come home and I start editing, then it's like, okay, what I'm gonna do, But I'm terrible at that, and kudos to you for being able to have that skill. I don't have it. Like I don't write. My handwriting is bad, so
uh-huh.
it's always in the brain, and I just do. But I'm trying to get to that point where I'm actually writing down and putting things together in perspective, like time frames or what I want to do, because not writing and being organized, you are all over the place, and I'm one of
Uh-huh.
those people. So
But you can't tell though in your videos, like they so well put together. Like so I think what you're doing is fine. Like if it works for you, it works for me. You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
But sometimes, like when you start working with people who are organized
Yeah.
and all of that, like I'm working on a short film,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm talking to people about it, trying to get people involved, and I know what I want it to be about, but we got to write a script. We got to do this, we got to do that. And I'm like, that's not me. I just know what I want people to say. But as far as writing it down, somebody else can do that. But I just know what I want to shoot. But realistically, you're not supposed to be like that. You got to be
Right.
organized, But me, I'm just like, no, just write this, say this. You say, hit record, just say that. That's how I operate. It sucks, I know,
So
but
so with you being like that, you kind of doing everything right then. Like you don't take like 2 days, 1 day to complete it. Cause I know if you're not writing it down, like if you doing it like 2, 3 days, you're gonna forget like what you said, or do you, is
but
it
I
kind of
don't. That's
stuck?
the thing. But I don't, because it's so much in here that I want to do. Like my memory is good.
Yeah.
So if I know I want to do something, it's already here and I'm just going to do it. But you're supposed to be organized and write it down and do all of that. Sorry, I just don't do that. But
Hey,
I'm working on
hey,
that.
hey,
I'm
if it
working on it.
works though, it works. It's working for you. So keep up the good work. You doing
But
your
but
thing.
yeah, but I learned I got to, because when I first started like putting the business together, like getting the LLC and
Mhm.
business plan and all that, right? I contacted I'm not sure if you ever heard of them, the Small Business Association.
Well, I believe I had to fill out that form for that too. That's getting the LSC, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Small Business Association. If you have a chance, you can look them up on Instagram, or just like on the web. They're an
Hmm.
organization that helps small businesses.
Yeah.
So we have a location here in DC, and I reached out to them because they help you with different things. They give grants, they give loans.
Oh.
If you if you're trying to get a space for your business, they can help you out with that. And that's what I was trying to do, get my own separate space, you know,
Mm-hmm.
to do the studio and everything. So I reached
Yeah.
out to them, right? And the young lady that I talked to, she was like, okay, well, the first thing you need to do is you need to have a business plan. And I was like, okay, but I know what I want to do. Can I just tell you? She said, no, you have to write it and type it up. I was like, so I did have to do that, you know.
Yeah.
But when I talked to her, I was like, I know what I can't just tell you what I'm trying to do. She was like, no. So I understand the purpose and the importance of being organized. So
Yeah. Yeah. So you just blessed me with that little piece of information though, because I need all that. I need all of that.
yeah, definitely look the SBA up. They are helping, and then I don't want to speak her name up because I'm not sure how people feel about her, but Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, they actually put money aside, you know, because people got their
Yeah, I feel you.
I
I see where you're going, but
I have nothing but great things to say about them because they actually put money aside for small businesses when
yep.
this COVID thing came. So if you needed help with your business startup, anything, they had loans, they had grants,
Mm-hmm.
they had forgivable at PPP loans.
Yeah.
So they did a lot for people that was trying to start their business, or you already had your business and you were struggling, you ain't have no
Mm-hmm.
money for equipment.
Right.
So that helped me a lot. So I definitely give kudos to the Small Business Association and Kamala Harris because they're still doing it. So that's why I said, look into it if you can, because they're here to help businesses because they want the economy to grow.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yep. Way to go, Kamala.
Yeah, I mean, I have nothing bad to say about her on that part.
Right.
So she put stuff aside to something that I'm involved in. I'm starting a business. I have a business. I need assistance. It was there, and it was
Mm-hmm.
hassle free. It wasn't like all kind of like, oh my God, I can't understand how to do this. It was so simple. You got your funds. They helped you.
Right.
So throughout my whole, I'll say I've been doing this stuff for like 20 years.
Oh,
I've never
really?
heard, yeah, I started when I was like in my teens. So
Mm-hmm.
it's been going since then, but I've never heard of any, maybe I ain't looking to it, but I haven't heard of any presidents or anything that was really dealing with helping people start a business without it
Yeah.
being like a loan. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I think that's something new that just came into place.
Yeah, and it got something to do with COVID and these businesses, but I just think it
Right.
was a good thing because it helped a lot of people.
It was a blessing.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
it
Yes.
was.
Yeah. So with all that being said, like I just want to ask you some questions about like when you shooting your photos or whenever you're going out. So like is it something that you learned now that you wish you had known when you first started
Yeah,
shooting fitted photos?
everything. I learned more now than I did back then. I'm not gonna lie. Back then, when I first started, I didn't really know what I was doing. I'm the type of person, I'm hands on.
Yeah,
I'd rather keep doing it until I get it and perfect it, you
that's
know.
me.
So that's how I was. And I didn't, I'm not about opening up a book or trying to read what I gotta do. I'm all about doing it. And if I keep messing up, let me keep messing up till I get it right. So everything that I'm doing now, and then back then we didn't have YouTube the way it is now.
Right,
I learned
right.
a lot on YouTube. Yeah. So
I'm the
everything.
same way though. I cannot stand reading. I would
Yeah.
sit there and skim through. I read the first sentence or
Yeah.
something to see what it's about, but I cannot sit there and focus myself to read.
Yeah.
Uh, I can't
Yeah.
do it.
That's just
So
how I am too. So everything that I've learned in the past couple of years, I wish I learned back then because you never know where you would be right now had you had the same mindset of right now back then.
right.
But everything is a learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't take anything back. I don't regret anything that I've done back then. It's all a learning experience.
Learning experience as well as time. It's a
Yeah.
time and for everything. You know what I'm saying? So I want to ask you, did you take any courses? But I don't think you took no courses, being that you don't.
I did. I took a photography class before.
Oh, for real? So
Yeah, I did.
Did that add to your skills, or is it something that you was just a waste of time because you already knew what you knew needed to
Well,
know?
did I learn a lot from that class? Not really, because I really didn't pay attention because I had the mindset that I knew. But what was different about that photography class was I got to shoot film versus digital.
Yeah.
I thought it was a digital class, but when I got in there, we had to buy us a film camera.
Uh huh.
So not only did I learn how to shoot on a film camera, but I actually learned how to develop film and get the pictures, develop pictures and stuff. So that was cool.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that was cool. And as far as the business, knowing business, I'm currently in school for business management and technology. So
Mhm.
I've been in school for a long time, a long time. So I learned a lot about business through school, and previous jobs that I had.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. So what school did you take the photography
uh
program at?
UDC, University of the District of Columbia. Yep.
Mhm.
I took that
Okay.
semester. It was about maybe like 4 years ago I took it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So, is it any particular gear that you like to use? Do you have one special one that's your go-to every time?
Man, I'm all over the place when it comes to gear. I'm not gonna lie, but it depends on the situation. Like I've been doing some venues recently. I did a pop-up shop yesterday, and today out in Virginia there was a event called what's it called? Kick 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 swipe or something like that. It's like a tennis
Hmm.
shoe, a sneaker event.
Oh, shoot! I would have loved to been at that.
Yeah, I loved it. Everybody was in there selling shoes, and it was a great vibe and everything. They do it several times a year, but I went there to take pictures. And a lot of times when I'm not doing like a lot of stuff like pertaining to the event, want something small and intimate, I might use like a Sony camera. I'm into the mirrorless systems.
Hmm.
So I might take a little small Sony camera just to shoot on. But if I'm going to something big, a wedding or, a major event like I did DC Fashion Week,
Hmm.
then, I'll go with the full frame mirrorless cameras. It doesn't really matter. But the brands that I particularly use is Sony, Canon, and Fuji.
Hmm.
So those are the only brands I use. And I kind of maneuver through those brands depending on what kind of event I'm going to.
Hmm.
But if it's nothing, like I did a birthday party, I didn't really have to bring a whole bunch of gear. So I bought like a little portable camera, a little portable camcorder, and a lot of the videos, my recent videos that I've been shooting for my docu series that's called Entrepreneurs in the DMV, all of
Hmm.
that's been shot on a little camcorder.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's what's up. And you
Mhm.
can't even tell though. So, is it a reason why you prefer the mirrorless cameras opposed to any other?
I think because when I first started with photography, mirrorless cameras weren't out. I had a little DSLR. I think it was
Hmm.
like Canon T5i. But then later on, when I started really getting my business together and it was time to purchase equipment, I went to Best Buy and that's just like all they had. They had a lot of mirrorless cameras. And
Hmm.
I looked into that and I ended up getting a Sony A7S Mark II. And since I've been using that, I just been sticking with mirrorless systems.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, I don't think it matters, um, especially if you're starting out.
Hmm.
But me personally, since I started with the Sony and it was a mirrorless camera, I like the quality of it. I like how my pictures come out. Um, you know, my style is kind of different than other people. I like the cinematic look.
Hmm.
I like my pictures to look cinematic, kind of darkish a little bit. That's just my style. I like it to look like if you're watching a movie and somebody took a picture of that scene.
Uh-huh.
That's kind of how I want my pictures to look. So, and the mirrorless systems, for some reason, they give me that look.
Okay. So is it a reason why you like that cinematic scene? Like, does it do something to you, or is it just you
Mm,
like the color grading in it, or
yeah, color grading. I. I try not to do too much editing with the color grading and stuff with pictures. I
Mm-hmm.
like my pictures to come out pretty good out of the camera. So if I'm
Yeah.
doing any finishing touches, it's very a little bit, slight. But I like a contrasty look, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And I don't know. I grew up into movies, and I really like things that I look at now with movies. I looked at back then when I was a kid, but I just didn't know, like the
Yeah.
color grading and
Mm-hmm.
cinematic, how they made videos look cinematic. You see that stuff, but once you start learning,
You
about
get a
video.
whole total different
Yeah,
outlook of it. Yeah.
exactly. So
Yep.
that's what happened to me. I really tuned into learning how to get that cinematic look in my videos, and I
Mm-hmm.
just, put it into my photos as well.
Okay. That's dope. So, what's one of your best projects that you've done so far? Which one that you enjoyed the most?
Um, I'll say it's two. One is not really completed though, but I did start it. One is the podcast, the Yo DMV Raps.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm glad that we did that. I enjoyed doing that podcast. And the second one is, like I said, I dip and dab, and I did a short film, a short film that I didn't really complete, and it was called 3 Days. I think it's still on my YouTube channel, and it's based on a true story.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to be about everything that I went through 3 days before my mom passed.
Uh-huh.
My mom died of breast cancer, and I found out 3 days before she died that she had it. So
Oh wow. Sorry to hear that.
thank you, thank you. But it was like a remake of everything that I went through before I got to her and when she passed. So I started off just showing like one day of when I first found out, she was sick, and that was it. I stopped right there. I didn't get a chance to finish the whole short film, but I did a little bit of it. But what I did, I liked. Looking back at
Mm-hmm.
it now, it's like, okay, I could do a little bit things different. But I was glad that I started it because it was something that was on my mind.
Yeah.
So, like I said, anything that's on my mind, I push to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I
Mm-hmm.
want to complete that.
Yeah.
But
I was gonna ask you, was you gonna complete it?
yeah, I definitely want to complete it. But those are the two that I would say I enjoyed doing, and
Mm-hmm.
actually had fun shooting it and planning it and, putting it out there.
Okay. I would love to see that. I hope you finish it because that sounds like it's gonna be pretty interesting.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is interesting because it was interesting in that year that when that happened, so
Yeah, I
um
could just imagine.
yeah.
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 So, for somebody that's looking to like start doing photography,
Mhm.
what kind of advice would you give to someone that's thinking of starting to do photography?
Well, I would tell them, don't get into the mindset of thinking that you need to have the latest and the greatest equipment to do it. If you can start off with your cell phone, you can start
Hmm.
off with a little $200-$300, $100, $50 point and shoot, and just try your best to learn. I would say go on YouTube. I think YouTube would be the best way to learn it free
Hmm.
and to really understand it because there's somebody out there on YouTube that can explain the basics of photography.
Yeah.
I would do that.
Okay. So, you say go to YouTube and learn it. Yeah, I think YouTube really is one of my best researches right now.
Yeah, it
Um,
is.
so you saying that basically you make the equipment don't make you basically.
Exactly.
So you could
And
take any camera, and if you know what you're doing with that camera, you can create a great image.
yeah, if you get a camera or if you're using your cell phone, there's people out there that's done movies on iPhones,
Hmm.
that's done short films on Samsung Galaxy Note phones.
Yeah.
So you don't have to. I mean, if you want to and you have the money to go out and buy the latest and the greatest, okay, that's fine. But just make sure once you get it, you learn it
Yeah.
100%. You learn that camera and then use it. But I speak highly of that because I was in that. I was in that mode of, oh, I have to get the latest and the greatest. Oh, I need to get this camera. I need to get that camera. And
Mm-hmm.
then you keep buying cameras, but you're not learning the camera. So you're not really
Right.
using it because you keep buying. And I was caught up in that a couple of years ago. So
Mm-hmm.
now I'm all about trying to learn all of my gear, you
Okay.
know? So yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you something that might help somebody out here that's looking.
Mhm.
Like, is there a certain setting that you would prefer to use the camera in? Like a certain mode that you shoot in?
For video or photography or both?
For both. Like, what's the best setting to get a good photo, and what's the best setting if you're shooting in video mode to get a perfect video?
Well, for photography, if you're just starting out and you don't know about aperture and shutter speed and ISO, those are the three things that you need to know in both photography and videography. You need to know both of those, all three of those.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're just starting out, you don't know, shoot an auto. You can't go wrong with auto. Once you start shooting an auto and you start having that eye, to take your pictures and have good pictures, composition. It's a lot that goes into taking a photo. So if you don't know your camera, you don't know that much about photography, put it in A. A stands for auto. A lot of cameras have that. Put it in auto and shoot away.
That's the
Then
cheat code.
I mean, yeah, that's how you got to do it at first because some people don't know about aperture mode.
Right.
They don't know about that.
Mm-hmm.
So like it was a guy that one of my coworkers, he came to me, he started out, trying to be a photographer, and he came to me and said, I keep taking pictures of my son when he played football, but he keep coming up blurry. And he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't know. I can't go to him and say, I can't tell him bump up your shutter speed. Cause he gonna be like,
Yeah, cause
huh?
he don't. Yeah,
He
right.
don't know. So what I told him, I said, there's a way to get him. I said, is he running or something? And he was like, yeah, he running. But when I take a picture of him, he always blurry. So I
Mm-hmm.
said, this is what you need to do. I said, you need to go on YouTube, look up the basics of photography and look up these three words: aperture, shutter speed, and ISO. Once
Yep.
you understand that, you'll know how to get him in focus when he's running and playing football.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep. Yeah.
yeah.
But that's good information.
Always start in auto. And then
Mm-hmm.
just try to work on composition and getting a good shot, the perfect shot that you like, and then go from there. Start trying to figure out how you can blur the background behind someone. Just play around, but definitely
Mm-hmm.
take time to go on YouTube and learn it.
Okay. Great information.
Hmm.
So, with all that being said, I know you told us about your DMV raps coming
Hmm.
back, but you don't have an exact date. Are there any projects that you're working on right now that we can look forward to in the next coming 2022?
Yes, the digital magazine
Uh-huh.
that we coming out with for success. That's coming out in 2020. The first issue should be in January. I'm hoping, I'm shooting for that. But
Yeah.
we're going to be working on that. And I'm just out here right now still trying to network and do events in the areas. So if anybody has an event in the DMV area, let me know. I'm coming to promote it. We're also doing the Entrepreneurs in the DMV docu-series that you've been seeing a lot of the videos on,
Mm-hmm.
promoting different entrepreneurs in the DMV area. So those are the two main things that we're working on right now: the magazine and the docu-series. We're going to keep pushing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's dope. And I think we done asked enough questions for today, but I know you got a lot more that you want to share with the world. So we're gonna get you back on here another time
Most definitely.
and bring you to share some more stuff that you got going on.
That's what's
And
up.
I want you before you leave though to let everybody know where they can find you at, where they can follow you, like if they need to book you, where they can go to book you. So let the people know how they can find you.
Sure. Well, I have a website, thedddtinc.com. You can definitely hit me up on there. You can also hit me on Instagram at Grow Media Studio. YouTube is Grow Media DDT. Yeah. So that's the way to get me.
Okay, I hope y'all heard that. So go hit her up, follow her, social media, book her for some events or whatever we got going on. So I thank y'all for tuning in. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, subscribe to this channel because I got some great content coming and gonna keep on bringing dope stuff and get y'all kind of entwined with what I got going on. So I appreciate y'all for watching. So see you next time, next Saturday, 6 o'clock. Peace.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.